Welcome to the Find Your Leadership Confidence podcast with Vicki Nedling. You are about to discover impactful lessons that help you grow as an individual, grow your confidence, and find the positive and good within you, so you powerfully and authentically become the best version of yourself. Be sure you visit our website at www.findyourleadershipconfidence.com. While you're there, subscribe to us via your favorite network. Now tune in, get ready, and enjoy the journey of emerging as a leader of exception in the 21st century.
Welcome everyone to the Find Your Leadership Confidence podcast. I'm your host, Vicki Nedling, coming to you from Roswell, Georgia. The goal of this podcast is to bring topics and guests that will empower you to become a confident leader and grow your business to the next level. It is my pleasure to have Kathleen Celmins as my guest today. And let me tell you a little bit about Kathleen. She is the CEO, a published author, and your personal monetization coach. She has 2 decades of work in leadership, sales, lead generation, and marketing, both digital and offline. She knows how to sell things and knows what will sell, guaranteed. She has learned the importance of lifestyle design, intentional business building, and unsubscribing from the hustle while building a life she doesn't want to retire from. If it is out of this passion and the core belief that experts deserve to be paid well for their own expertise, that Kathleen has built the well-paid expert. She specializes in showing entrepreneurs, digital product creators, and anyone making a living selling their expertise as a service, the key skills that they need to be able to shift the entire scope of their lives. And what does that mean? She teaches them how to monetize their ideas and processes, turning in the offer into evergreen funnels. And I thought that this was a great theme for today. There's 100K hiding in plain sight in your business. So please join me in welcoming Kathleen Celmins.
Hi there.
So we always start with an easy question, and that question is, what part of the country do you currently reside?
I am in the Phoenix suburbs.
Oh, I love Phoenix. I actually was a graduate of University of Phoenix. I don't live there, but I flew to Phoenix to get that piece of paper. So I recently heard that courses are dead. That can't be true, is it?
I know. Courses are dead. Emails are dead. Blogs are dead.
Podcasts
Instagram is dead. Facebook is dead. Podcasts are dead. Like, whatever. Let's just forget it all. Go back to work for somebody else, right? Like, the people that say that are either trying to sell you something, or which is not courses, or like courses in some other format, right? Or they are on the other side of it, where they've tried, they created a course and their mom and sister-in-law bought it and nobody else. And so they decided that since they didn't work for them, they don't work for anybody else. But I would argue that it's probably not even true that it didn't work for them.
Oh my goodness. I so agree with you. I've been with some of those people that they definitely were trying to sell you something at the end. And since I have 2 courses, I didn't like to hear that they're dead, nor did I like to hear that podcasting won't do anything for me.
Right.
Because 2 of the things I love as much as I love coaching people, it's like, no, please. So why are most people leaving money on the table?
Oh, I don't think they're doing it on purpose. I think that they're especially if you are a solopreneur or you're the lead person of a small team, you have to do so much in your business. Everything from lead generation to client fulfillment to actually doing the work and providing the service, that it's easy to just not focus on some things. And you shouldn't focus on everything. But if you don't have a leveraged source of income, then it's really hard to take a break. It's really hard to take a sick day even. If every day you have to service clients, you've just built yourself sort of a beautiful little business, but not something that has the ability for you to, like, take your laptop to the beach or whatever those lifestyle design stock images have.
Right, for sure. And if you think of it too, whenever you think of how much you're worth, if I had to pay someone to do, all the different administrative things and marketing things and lead generation things and, beyond the technology, but, actually having people to push buttons or whatnot, and you add up how much that costs plus your time, then I think that's a great way to figure out that you aren't overcharging for what you do. Right.
And if you do that math, you're going to increase your rates almost instantly.
So true, and if you were working for somebody else and sitting across the table and trying to negotiate how much pay you're going to get, or if you're working there and think of a raise, you might start to think of how much that's worth. And for me, coming from the corporate world as a project manager, I know how much I was paid and worth. And why wouldn't I get that now in this environment? So,
well, you can get that now. You just have to do 6 other people's jobs too.
Yeah, that's true. So how can agencies add a digital product that doesn't conflict with their other main offer?
Well, it's a good question, but I would argue that the same person who would buy the fishing lessons is not the same person that will buy the fish dinner. So if so, especially in the agency world, when you're working with companies that have budget, they don't have time. So, that's what we're working with, right? We're either working with people who have budget or they have time. So the people that are coming to you for a $25,000 package, your highest end package, they do not have time to learn it themselves. Obviously, if they can give you that money and just walk away and have it be done, 6 strategy meetings and then you're on your way. They're going to do that, 100 times out of 100. So I think when an agency comes and thinks about like what they could build, they could build how to serve this, how to perform this service, how exactly how we do our 500 point A to Z, start to finish on what, like how we would, I don't know, create a website or come up with a content strategy or whatever it is an agency does. Or they can teach people how to start an agency.
So I think too, for my podcast, I did not have time to create it, to do it, and also I would have had to get boned up on all the new technology that since the last time I built websites and things. And so I found it easier too, it's less stressful. So I think for me, it's, do I have the money? Do I want to eliminate the stress? And do I want to have time to do something that I want to do, like go to the beach, build while I'm at the beach or something, rather than just saying, well, it's not worth it. To me, it was totally worth every penny that I paid to have
Right. And you're not a big company who's hiring somebody for $25,000 a month or whatever.
Absolutely.
I also think too that it's important to talk about where budgets get changed as we head deeper and deeper into a recession, because often what gets cut is the external agency budget, but what gets increased is the learning budget. So if you were going to lose that work anyway, you might as well have a digital product or an online course or your SOPs, whatever, your process that you can teach those people who will come back and hire you when their budget gets adjusted again.
That's a great point. That's a great point. So the question is, say I have a couple courses, and so why didn't my course or my digital products sell well? And I think you started to touch on that, but as we move into whatever 2024 is going to be bringing, and 2023, what should we be doing to maybe make a course, no pun intended, correction?
Ooh, that's good. I like that. It's a good product suite offering name, because I think the temptation, especially online, and especially something that we created ourselves. So if it didn't sell very well, let's say you wanted to sell 1,000 units and you sold 15, and you're like, okay, well, I mean, it wasn't a total fail. It paid me some. Our instinct is to throw the baby out with the bathwater, and start fresh and, change the topic slightly. But the truth is, that's not how big companies do things. That's not how physical companies do things. If let's say it's a couch, right? You have 1,000 units of a couch that you need to sell. You've already made those 1,000 couches. You've only sold 15. It becomes a marketing problem. And I think we don't think about digital products the same way because we don't have inventory. Or, I mean, we do, but we're paying a couple of bucks a month to host it on some teaching platform, right? So the truth is, we haven't set up campaigns for success. We haven't set up recurring campaigns. We think because, and it's, to me, it's the creation sales gap, where you as the creator spent, let's call it 100 hours building a product. So you're sick of it. You've talked about it. You've thought about it. It's consumed your waking hours. You've dreamt about it. You've come up with content on, it has consumed you. And by the time you've uploaded that last video, you are just beyond done. But it's not going to sell itself. So you have to sort of change your shoes and start again. And start again and think okay, the production team did a great job on this. And now it's time for the sales and marketing team to get together and have a meeting and figure out how we're going to sell this. Right.
So you talk to yourself.
Well, you do a little bit, but you also, it's so silly. I have a bracelet in my hand. I'm like, okay, well, now I'm marketing. And so what I'm not doing is criticizing each piece of the production, because I'm not in production right now. I'm in marketing. And again, I hate to say in a real company, but in other companies, the marketing team doesn't get to go back to production and say, I don't like this.
Yeah,
the marketing team has one job. They have to market that product.
They gotta make it work.
Right. So I think the temptation to keep tweaking the deliverable is natural, and it has to be squashed if you want to make money.
Right. And I agree that a lot of times, you put that baby out there and you think it will just automatically attract people, but like anything, you have to build awareness that you have it. And so you have marketing, you have
I think it's hard to market something you've created. I really do, because especially for entrepreneurs, we are so tied to our identity as entrepreneurs. So what we think we're saying is, this is a piece of me. Do you like it?
Yeah.
Whereas, well, yeah. And then it's, if they say no, thanks, you know, if you're asking your sister if she needs your digital course and your sister works at a university, the answer is no. She doesn't need it and she doesn't care about it. She loves you, but it doesn't impact her day to day. And we take that so personally, and we don't need to, because what we're doing instead is we've created something that solves a problem. So the better question is, do you have this problem?
Yeah.
And then you get into a conversation, because if the answer is no, that's a quick conversation. Like, great, but you know, how's the weather where you are? Have a good day, you know. But if they do, then you can dive deeper, because it's not really about us being accepted or rejected. It's about whether we can find someone who has the problem that our product can solve.
Has the problem and the ability to pay to fix it.
Well, it depends on the problem, right? If it's not too, I mean, it has to be a pretty painful problem. You know, I'm not getting TikTok views isn't exactly like a big problem, but like, I need help generating leads, or I'm not going to make my mortgage payment next month. That's a big problem, you know, and that's something that somebody's product or service can help solve.
Right, for sure. So you say there's $100,000 in Google Drive, and I would like for you to explain that.
Right. So without having you share your screen and open up your Google Drive, think about this, that there are things that you go back to in your Google Drive time and time again. Maybe you have a swipe file list, maybe you have an inspiration list, whatever you're putting in Google Drive, other than like bank statements, let's keep that out of it. Those types of things can be really, really useful for someone else. So it's hard to see it because you are the wine inside the bottle. You cannot see your own label. And so you have to look for clues. Like if you're using the word just in anything, keep a note on, let that be a flag for you, because if you think like, well, this is just my SOP for getting someone onboarded in less than 2 weeks without any delays, I have to tell you, don't say just, you know, that's awesome. That's something people can, or this is just my strategy for sending an email out every day. But do you know how hard it is for other people to send emails? Or this is just how I'm able to always have my books balanced. Like all of those things that, like, that's sort of the curse of the expert. Anything that you think like, this is so obvious that everybody should be able to do it, it's just not true. It's obvious to you because you put in your hours and you're the surgeon. You've spent your time figuring out where to cut. So the surgeon doesn't say, well, it's just, everybody knows it's just like this part of the appendix, like, right, the appendix is right here. Well, no, not everybody knows that. And surgeons don't talk like that. So channel your inner surgeon when you're thinking about your expertise.
Ah, very good. Need to be able to speak to your audience. So it's time now for rapid fire. I can't believe we just flown by here. This is so good. So what are the top 3 tips that you would give for repackaging your expertise?
Look for the things that you do that you don't think are that special. Listen for when your peers are asking you for advice. Anytime you get the same question 3 times, you need to really consider that it's something you can build a product around. If it's a question you can easily answer, I should clarify. And commit to planning for sales and marketing. So build the outline and then build your marketing strategy, and then go back in and finish it after you start getting sales, so that we don't get we don't do this work for free. We don't do client work for free. So let's not do work for ourselves for free.
Very good. So do you, in your business, offer courses and webinars?
Right now, I am teaching people how to build their own. I'm working on a behind the scenes where I'm building one out for the people in my group, so that they can see the practical, not just the theoretical. But that's not live yet. It will be in the next couple months. But it's the way that I help people now is through hands-on training and support to get you from idea to fully functioning sales funnel in 90 days.
Awesome. And do you do webinars? Like a 60, 90 minute?
No, not anymore. I used to. I've been at this a long time. So right now, webinars aren't working quite the same way they once did. Yeah. And so right now what's working is VSLs. And sending people to a description of why they should buy from you and what's included. And it's a bit more direct. Yeah. It's a lot less time, and it feels a lot easier right now. I mean, ask me again in 6 months and it'll change again, I'm sure. But that's the thing, is that everything works until everybody does it. And once we get full saturation, we got to switch it up. So yeah. I think that's fun. Other people find that frustrating, but that's why I have a group for support and ideas.
So you mentioned that you've been doing this for a long time. Just quickly give us a little bit of history of your journey.
I started blogging in 2011 when the options were WordPress or Blogger. And I started as it was in the personal finance space. And then I left. I used my personal blogging experience to blog my way out of debt. I got hired as a blog manager for at the time, it was 2013. So at the time it was really unusual, but it was 100% remote. They were just ahead of their time, I guess. And I worked there when they bought HubSpot, when HubSpot was brand new. Yeah. And we did inbound marketing when the inbound marketing strategy was publish more than other people are publishing. Wow. And it doesn't have to be good. And then I left that company once I figured out that I could work from home, and I wouldn't get bored or crazy. And then worked with a business partner to grow their podcast to multi-six figures in revenue. I worked behind the scenes. I was not on air. I was in the personal finance space, and I left in 2018 after realizing that I didn't want to be in the personal finance space anymore, and just wanted to help more creators make more money. So I've been doing marketing since 2018.
Awesome. Thank you for giving us that great background. So what would the last golden nugget, before I have one more question, but really the last golden nugget, if you wanted us to take away anything, what would that one thing be that you think that we must know?
That you really are sitting on at least $100,000 revenue stream, and you just have to figure out what it is and where it is. You have to do a little digging, a little research, but if you've been in business even a couple of years, you're sitting on a gold mine.
Awesome. Thank you. And so you also kind of touched on this, but what would be the next thing on your journey, the next path that you're going to take?
I am planning on doing a live event. I haven't decided if it's going to be virtual or in person, but I'm really excited about the idea of bringing people together in a space.
We should talk about next year. I want to start doing a couple retreats, and I think you would be an awesome person to actually have as part of the retreat. That would be so good for people to really understand and uncover, like peel the onion and uncover what onion or what they have treasures under the hood, if you will.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
All right, so it is time now to share my screen, And if you have been just listening, you will want to have paper and pencil to be able to get this website information. So the website is https://thewellpaidexpert.com. Again, thewellpaidexpert.com.
Yep.
She is on LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram using her name, bless you, Kathleen Celmins, Celmins. And I'm going to let Kathleen talk to you a little bit about her study that she has for you.
Yeah. So I helped a client take her idea from idea to $100,000 in online revenue in just 12 months. And there's a case study available on my website. It's at thewellpaidexpert.com/100K case study. And it's cool and it's fun. And it's I think the main takeaway is that there are a lot of people in the marketing world that want you to think that all of this is a lot harder than it is.
I think being persistent and consistent is a big thing in taking away that, I guess, myth. So thank you so much. You gave a lot of great information. And I think maybe for some people, an aha moment, a reminder that you don't need to be looking for someone else to find that $100,000, that you actually do have it at your fingertips. You just might need some help to figure out how to find it.
I hope so.
So again, that website is
thewellpaidexpert.com.
All right. So thank you again for being a guest. And as I always remind everybody, life is a journey and it's up to you to enjoy the ride. Please have a great day. And this is Vicki Nettling signing off.
Thank you for tuning into the Find Your Leadership Confidence podcast with Vicki Nettling, where we share impactful lessons that help you grow as an individual, grow your confidence, and find the positive and good within you so you powerfully and authentically become the best version of yourself. Remember to visit our website at www.findyourleadershipconfidence.com and enjoy even more great episodes like this one. Again, while you're here, subscribe to us via your favorite network. We look forward to seeing you next time on the Find Your Leadership Confidence podcast.